Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 1st. Happy first of the month. 6:23 right now. We got market opening up in about 7 minutes. With the first of the month today, you want to be a little cautious with your entries, of course, just like yesterday, the last of the month. Um, I mean, we'll see what happens here. I posted on my daily outlook for today. Market's looking neutral to bullish. YM is currently consolidating just below prior highs with constructive structure. Pre-market holds above key short-term EMAs, suggesting that momentum remains intact if it holds 44,285. We have PCE today, so directional clarity will likely happen after PCE. We have the major trading levels right here. I have them marked up on my chart as well. So we have minor resistance, key support, strong support down here, and we have further support down below. So we'll see what happens here when market actually opens up. We get about 7 minutes till then. So other than that, we'll kind of see what happens here shortly, guys. We got a few moments here until market opens up, and then we'll go from there. Let's see what else I have to look at here. Not much else. I marked up liquidity here. These levels here got knocked out, so I'm going to kind of adjust these as price moves along. So we got a ton of liquidity sitting up top over here. Um, if you guys are looking to take a sweep, key sweep level is going to be right here at the key support. So I'll be looking to take this as a sweep level. Of course, when price opens up. Right now, the ATR is currently at 7 ATR, so it's pretty slow right now with regard to volatility. We have strong support down here as well. There's no liquidity in this area, so it's not really going to be a good area to look for some sweeps. Key area for sweeps are going to be right here at the key support level. This is going to be the Globex low key intraday pivot, and then up here we have minor resistance. So if you're looking to take sweeps, you can look for possible sweeps around those areas. And we'll see what happens here. The volatility is really low right now. ATR is currently at 7 ATR, so we'll kind of have to wait for the volatility here to pick up a little bit before we start looking for some actual entries. All right, looks good. Hey Maria, morning. Morning, David. All right, guys, looks like we're good to go. Market's gonna open up shortly. Hey Sam, morning. Um, there's not really much going on right here. You can see price is kind of in this heavy range at the moment. I'll identify what the breakout will be shortly, closer to 7 or close to 6:30, and then I'll also identify the orb breakout as well if you guys are looking to take that. Got it set up over here. Also, if you guys took that, I know I talked about the stock that I was looking to buy today due to earnings. It's up heavy, so I made a pretty good amount of money on that specific stock. I think what I'm going to do every week is I'm going to take a few stock picks depending on what's coming out for earnings, like whatever's looking good, and I'll give you guys a heads up on like what I'm taking. I'll show you guys the profit on that a little later once market opens up. I'm currently up pretty nicely on that. Let's see. Because I think I'm going to start actively trading my stock profile. So it's up about 5%, which is pretty good. I was aiming for about 5 to 10% um, per trade on these stocks. So I'm going to see how it moves here on open. It's supposed to move pretty heavily because it did beat earnings. And we'll see. But all right, guys, we'll see what happens here. See, Sam said, I think there'll be an opportunity after 30 to 35 minutes of New York Open, like MPSV2, but you're not taking it anyway. So let's see. Yeah, no, we'll take a look at it. If anything, I'll look at the MPSV2 and I'll look for opportunity for possibly getting in with a limit order. So we'll see what's up with that, Sam. I think so too. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the market here to kind of bounce around a bit. So probably 30 minutes in or so, and then we'll get some stabilization around there. I believe there was news for today. Let me refresh this real quick. Let's see. Sam said, "Love the background pics." Yeah, no, definitely. I have actually had these. I had these canvases on the wall, but I gotta reinstall them. The thing that I was using the nails to hold them up, they kind of well, they weren't really nails. They were just like the sticky stuff. They're starting to fall apart. I came into my office yesterday and like both of them were like halfway off, so I had to go and take them down. But yeah, they're cool in the background. Got to keep it trading related, of course. The Bulls and the Bears. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about 2 minutes. Breakout for today is looking like it's going to be a sell. This is going to be a little tricky because my daily outlook is neutral to bullish. So it's going to be a little tricky here to take trades against the bias. But you guys can see here, this is just a really big range, right? So what we might get here is we might get a temporary push to the downside and then a switch right here. So basically a liquidity sweep. Price may push down slightly and then sweep from up here. So if you want to take that breakout, I mean, feel free to take it at your own risk. I'll follow it for you guys. The ATR is extremely low right now, currently at 7 ATR. One thing that you guys want to remember that it is it's the first of the week. So this is typical for market to move like this when it is first of the week. Hey Daniel, all good to see you, bro. Yeah, no, it's all good, Daniel. Take your time, bro. There's no rush. Market's not going anywhere. If you need to get back on your feet with the trading stuff, it's all good. Just grind your way out. You'll get there eventually. You'll start to see what I'm doing here, and you're going to see that it's a lot more structured with regard to these entries since I'm taking limit orders now. All right, guys, price is dumping right now. Market isn't open yet, but the breakout for today is going to be a sell. It's a little tricky that it's spiking down like this because there's a lot of uncertainty if price is going to keep spiking down or if it's going to, reject off the sessions right here. So we'll see what happens here. Initial breakout, and there goes the opening bell. Market is now open. Price is coming down. I'm going to mark up opening price right here. It's currently at the sessions though, so something to be careful for and to be aware of. So price is slightly coming down right now. Um, Like I said, if I'm going to take a sweep, it's going to be down here at the key support level. ATR is currently 10 right now, so it's not super duper high, but it is picking up as we speak. Again, daily outlook for today is neutral to bullish. There we go. Price is spiking all the way up just like we anticipated. Let's check that stock pick that I was looking at earlier. MSM. Yeah, so this is the entry that I was talking about, guys. So this is a stock pick that I took earlier. Took yesterday. I'm probably gonna get out right here at the 90. So I'll hold on to it for a little bit, let it kind of push up a little bit, a few more dollars, and then get out of this position here. I'll come back and take a look at this a little later. Yeah, this is where I bought in yesterday. Earnings were good, so price pushed up, and I'll just let it kind of breathe for a bit. Let's go back to YM. So looking at YM here, if you guys are looking to take the orb is going to be hasn't closed yet, but it's going to close shortly in about a few moments. All right, so we got price pushing up right here. If you guys want to take this as a sweep, feel free to take it. Sweep is currently active right now. It is rejecting off the minor support. I don't really want to take sweeps for sells here because, we talked about this earlier. I want to go in the direction of the bias. So the bias here is bullish, so I'd be looking for sweeps from the bottom. If you guys do want to take this sweep from the top, feel free. This is where the liquidity is. It's sitting within the minor resistance. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because we're no longer in this area at the moment. See, I'm cleaning this up right here now as we speak. All right. So the sweep right there got filled, hit TP already, got right there for 30 points. If you guys caught that, that's the first initial sweep right there. I was kind of tempted to take it because price did look a bit overextended, but like I said, I'm trying to stick to my bias here. My bias here was bullish to neutral. So I don't want to get in right there just right at that very moment. So if you guys took that trade right there, full TP on that sweep, I'll be looking for the next opportunity here as price continues to move around. Looks like some of you guys here caught that sweep up there. So again, reason why um, this sweep over here was valid was because we had this liquidity which was sitting within the minor resistance. So this minor resistance right here is a prior close. It's yesterday's VWAP zone. Price pushed up, pretty much rejected off this area, swept the sessions and liquidity, and came right back down into the range. This is pretty much what I was telling you guys about earlier. We're just in this really big range right now, right? It's a huge range right here. This price moves around. So if you guys are just joining in, a sweep right there just got filled at that upper area. We had a liquidity that was sitting right here. Perfect sweep right there off the liquidity and the session. I was a little tempted to hop into it, but again, I didn't want to go against the daily bias. The bias here is pretty strong for a buy, it still looks like. So I'll be looking for price to push up even higher from here. Possibly a break and retest once we get that opportunity there. So I'm gonna clean up these liquidity levels here. Liquidity got pushed down a little bit. If you're looking to take a buy liquidity, closest key area is going to be right here. We have liquidity lined up with the key support, Globex low, key intraday pivot. Nice. Sam City got the full TP on the break and retest, but did not take the sweep. Gotcha. Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, the sweep level up there is a little tricky. The volatility is very high. You don't really want to go against volatility like that when it's pushing so strongly. Hey, what's up, Camo? Yeah, Camo said I skipped trading today. Ain't watched you trade in a while. Always have new trades in your bag. Yeah, so with the trades here, they're like similar to what we were doing before. It's just I like using limit orders, so I kind of adapted to using limit orders versus market orders. These reversals are pretty much they're like liquidity pushes, but they're opposite. So instead of liquidity pushes, they're liquidity sweeps, and that's why I kind of held off on that one there specifically. There's also an MPSV2 that came up right here. Nice work, Sam. Sam actually caught the MPSV2 right here. If anybody was able to get into that one. So we had a sweep there followed by an MPSV2. We had a buy signal here, price pushed up, retraced on these red candles, confirmed on this green one right here. The ATR is currently at 19. So if you want to go for this with ATR, probably 20 points would be your ideal number. But if you want to go for the full 30, I mean, feel free. I'm still entering trades at full 30s. My risk is halved into three, so I can take basically 3 trades a day to equal one win or one loss. So got a lot of room here for opportunity of movement. So price is still pushing up right here if anybody's looking to get into that as well. But like we said earlier, this over here could have been a limit order as well for MPSV2. So like, if you guys want to do that and apply with limit orders, I mean, you can take an MPSV2 as soon as it closes, you can put a pending order wherever it's closed at. Only if it hasn't hit TP yet. Right here, obviously hit TP, so you wouldn't get into this late. But if it didn't hit TP yet, you could still put your limit order around that area. Nice. PC said perfect sweep due to the 1 hour supply level and 1 minute support. Yeah, no, definitely. There was a lot of there's structure here. So like you said, PC identified this as a 1 hour support supply level and a 1 minute support. Right here, I had this as my minor resistance. So it doesn't matter what you guys call it, it's just market structure, right? You guys can call it support, you guys can call it resistance turn to support, or support turn to resistance. As long as the analysis lines up with whatever I'm looking at, whether it's a support or resistance, it's usually going to be pretty spot on. So nice work, PC, on catching that right there. Yeah, Camel said always adapting. It's dope to see, bro. Yeah, 100%. You have to. Like, I'm sure well, I don't know if you get into limit orders on your breakouts, Camo, but what I've noticed with the market orders is that there's always a ton of slippage. So for me, I prefer to take trades with limit orders now. So there's another strategy, which is like a break and retest. It's similar to the MPSV2, but instead of getting in at market, it's kind of similar to a high-low scalp, actually. And you'll see one probably in a few once it comes up. I'm looking for a buy one right now. Hasn't came up yet, but I'm gonna be looking for a buy, high-low break and retest. It's basically a high-low scalp with price break structure, but instead of getting in right away, I'm looking for price to retest it, and I place my limit order hanging out right there. So you'll probably see one come up a little later today. There tends to be about like two or three of them that come up every day. So just got to be patient and wait for it to come up here. So if you guys are looking to take the orb breakout, guys, again for the orb as well, the orb has been established. The low is going to be right here, and the high is going to be right here. So if you guys are looking to take this here for a orb entry, 2-minute orb, we have a buy signal here. This is what I was mentioning. This is a confluence that's going to help a lot because we currently have a buy signal right here. So what you want to look for here is you want to look for price to break above the orb level, and then you want to look for it to push right through. I think 100 points might be a little hectic, but if you guys want to still look for that or take that specific type of entry, I mean, feel free, right? It's up to you guys. Your account, you guys can do what you like. But if you guys are looking to take this orb here, you're going to look for price to break and close above this high, which is at 44.15. And then the limit order would be hanging out right here at 44.15. 415, and then you'll try to ride that up right there. So yeah, if you guys are looking to take that orb, got it marked up for you guys right there. I'm kind of tempted to take the orb today. Maybe I'll take that orb and I'll follow it with you guys. I'll watch right there with you guys. Let's see. Navy's asking the MPSV2 not really until that second green candle, right? It would be this one right here. So let me try to clean this up a little bit. It would be this green candle right here. So as soon as this green candle closed, this is where the MPSV2 was validated. So we had a buy signal, retracement. Once this green candle right here closed, or actually, sorry, it's this one. You're right. It's the second one. My bad. Thanks, Navy, for confirming that. It was the second one right there. So we got this trade here possibly setting up for an orb, guys. If anybody's looking to take it, again, you need the candle to close above it. The pending orb would be right here at 44,415. It hasn't closed above it yet, but that's going to be where the entry is going to be at. Kind of tempted to give the orb a shot. Yeah, let's see. I could take 3 trades for the day, so I might just hop into this orb. I mean, I got to test these strategies real time. This is the only way to really know if they work or not. So I'll try to follow this orb here. It's going to be hard to get into any other positions, but I'll try to take this orb here if it does close above the level. So this is a good thing that I've kind of halved my risk. Okay. So I put my pending order right here. And I hate with Perdia that it requires me to update my data. Okay, so my orb is currently running at 7 points in profit right now as we speak. I need to make adjustments here because my fuck, where's my mouse at? Where's the 50 at? 50 is right here at 44,465. All right, the orb is currently running. And my target, my stop has to be over here at 44,365. Okay, my orb is in profit about 25 points. You guys can see right here, I'm in profit about 460 right there. So I'm pretty much writing this orb up. I'm just testing it out to see how it works. If you guys want to go for the full 100, I mean, feel free to go for the full 100 up here. I'm just kind of letting it breathe here around the 50 because the thing with the 100 is that sometimes it takes too long to hit, and in the current risk that I have, I don't think I can hold on to it for that long. So I'll probably just try to get out at the 50 right here for a 1-to-1 on the orb. If you guys want to hold it for the 100, I mean, feel free. I will mark this up here. This is the 50-point target. And if you guys want to go for the full 100. So with this orb strategy right here, basically this is a 2-minute orb. I use the momentum here as a confluence. So this is kind of what told me, okay, this is a good entry because we had the confluence right there with the buy signal. On top of that, my daily outlook was neutral to bullish. So this is the only problem with this strategy is that you have to hold on to it for a while. It's not always going to hit right away. So there's going to be different opportunities here as price pushes up. This strategy actually, so this orb entry lined up with a high-low break and retest. So you can see right here how it broke past this high-low. This is a high-low break and retest right there. I'm in profit quite a bit. The high-low break and retest looks like it just hit TP for 30 points. There we go. I'm on my way to my target right here. My target's going to be 50 points up here for the orb. So it's on its way up. This is what's great about having multiple strategies that kind of line up with each other, is that we have a really good confluence here, right? Going for that 50-point target right there. I'm on its way up. It's almost right there. I'm in profit almost 1,000. So it's breaking past these resistance levels, break and retest off that level right there. So the orb is almost at its 50% or 50-point mark right there. So price is pushing up. I'm going to go for that full 50 at least. A lot of entries here lined up with each other. Clean this up. Clean this up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to move my stop loss and profit to the 30. I'm going to hit that. Okay, I move my stop loss and profit. So I guarantee 30 points right here, but I'm going for that 50 points right there above. So if price pulls back, I'm out at 30, and I'll try to shoot for that 50 right there. It's almost there, a few points away. So it's off by like 2 points. Now I'm risk-free. Guaranteed, there you go, 50 points in profit. Locked in 1,000 per account right there. Great move. Beautiful move right there.
Order canceled.
So yeah, order pretty much got taken out right there on all of my accounts except for my Perdia, unfortunately. I hate Perdia. I don't hate Perdia, but Perdia, it's annoying because you have to turn the market data every month. So I wasn't able to get in on my Perdia account, but that's one that said order canceled, but everything else hit. So great work right there if you guys caught that with me. 50-point move right there for the orb, and then also the break and retest right here, full TP. There's two entries that ran alongside each other. The high-low break and retest broke right here and retested on this candle. That was a 30-point move. And then I actually took it for the orb right here, and I held it to the full 50. So I made 50 points on that trade. Talon, you said, can you go through the orb settings? I thought I was supposed to be set to 1 minute. It's set to 2 minutes. So right here, these are my orb settings. I can probably create my own indicator for this if you guys want me to. It'll probably help a lot. But I have it set to 6:30 and 6:32. Because you want to have the first 2 minutes. So you want to have from 6:30 up until 6:31 closes. So you have the 6:30 first candle and then 6:31 candle. The candle closes at 6:32, and that's where you want it to be marked up. So it's marked up right here between 6:30 and 6:31. That's why right here it has the low, and then the high was right here at 6:31. 6:31 into 6:32. You don't mark up the 6:32 candle, but that's kind of where it ends at. So I could probably put our own, personal indicator together for this so that it'll kind of I mean, resolve the issue because there's a lot of settings here for it. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, we have the orb still running, so we're going to use this as a confluence. I'm going to keep looking for buys here because we have the orb running to 100 points. The 50-point mark is done, so the 1-to-1's over with. But I'll be looking for more buys here because my bias for today is neutral to bullish. Plus, we have the orb running. Plus, we have this over here, which is currently in profit. So today's been a pretty solid overall move, as you guys can see here. Yeah, this move was pretty big because we had a couple entries come up so far. So we had the sweep that came up right here. We had the MPS V2 that came up right here. We had the high-low break and retest right here. So three back-to-back wins right there on those. And then we had the orb here, which also hit 50 points. I went for the 50 because I haven't really taken this entry. But we saw yesterday the 100 points hit and the 50 here is still running. So I don't know if visual is here. Oh, visual is here. Nice visual. Yeah, thanks to visual here, we're all here we're all on the same page, guys. Like, everyone here who gives input, I do take your input into consideration. And if I do think that it aligns with what I'm looking for here as well, I will implement your ideas and your strategies, and I'll try to factor in other confluences that I use with my own indicators to make the strategy better with confidence and movement. So we got the orb over here hitting the 100 points. The orb is similar to the breakout strategy. Like I said earlier, guys, the main thing that I'm doing here is I'm kind of adjusting my strategies for limit orders because the breakout is a market order. Same with the MPS V2, that's a market order, but I'm trying to get in with limit orders now. So I just adjusted the strategies a little bit for instead of just getting in right away, I'm looking for those break and retest type patterns. So same strategy. Like I said earlier, I'll put the playbook here. So this is my daily trading playbook, directional strategy, which is going to be MPS, or we'll put high-low break retest or MPS V2. Sideways strategy. This is going to be liquidity sweeps or V1 variations and breakouts will be 2-minute momentum orb or momentum breakout. It's the same thing. So like basically very similar, but I'm looking for pending orders. So you have kind of options here. If you want to take limit orders, you can use these. If you want to use market orders, you can use the ones next to it. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Obviously this is how I have to adapt with the market because I don't like placing market orders as much. Right, so 100 points right there, guys. 100 points on the orb right there. I just hit. Nice. Nick got the orb for 50. Nice work, Nick. Solid work, guys. Nice. Yeah, so Samir actually took the entry with us. He said, "Thanks, Sean. I didn't understand the entry. I rode on your back." Yeah. It's all even if you guys don't understand the entry, I mean, you guys could still I mark up the entries on the chart. So if you guys want to piggyback my ride or piggyback my trade, feel free to piggyback on me. Um, yeah, huge push to the upside. So you guys can see this huge 30-minute candle. This thing aligned with my analysis for the day, right? So if you guys have not looked at the daily outlook, I do highly recommend you take a look at this. I post this every morning in the Discord right here under the announcements. So right here, I posted the daily outlook. We already knew price was going to be bullish, so I was mainly looking for buys here. All the levels here pretty much lined up perfectly with what we were looking for. And yeah, that was a perfect move. So I'll take a screenshot of my profits. I'm still looking for entries here, guys, but I'm waiting for opportunities to come up. There's just no opportunities at the moment. So let me just take a screenshot of my accounts real quick. Yeah, I'll see a couple accounts here that have zeros. Unfortunately, my Perdia didn't copy the trade. I mean, it always happens first of the month. I gotta set a reminder somewhere for Perdia. It doesn't always happen, but when it does happen, it's super annoying 'cause it's like one of those days where like a banger trade hits and basically missed out on an extra $1,000 there. Yeah, so you guys have a couple options when you guys take these trades. Like when you want to take these trades here, I mean, for the orb, this orb actually hit very quickly. Like this orb doesn't always usually hit like this, where it blasts through. This is the trade I took, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to screenshot this here, and then you guys will know where the profits came from for that specific entry. I mean, that was a huge entry right there. So we had that orb right there, and then we also had this right here. That and the high-low break and retest. Basically two that came up right there. There's no entries here right now. We'll keep looking for any opportunities that may come up, but I mean all the big moves have pretty much happened already. The orb already hit the 100 points. So this one right here hit pretty quickly. This one hit within 8 minutes. Usually it takes around like maybe 10 to 20 minutes for it to hit because it's such a big move. It's 100 points. But this one actually hit pretty nicely with not so much time. So here I'll post up my profits real quick. And let me post this up over here. Oh, wrong place. Oops. All right, so I'm still looking for the opportunity here for entry. There's nothing to take right now. Prices are tracing back down, which is completely fine. What I'm going to look for here is for price to possibly break above, retest, and this will be another high-low breaking retest right there. Here are my profits from that last trade that I took. So I locked in about 1,000 per account right here. 1,000 per account up here, and then 500 per account down here. And then my other accounts over here, I locked in 1,000 per account, 1,000 per account, 500 per account, 1,000 per account. So today's actually a really big day, well, pretty big day for me. I think I might have locked in maybe like 30,000, 20 to 30,000, somewhere in between there, off that trade. Because I went for 50 points, right? On the, I should have went for the 100. Damn, that would have been crazy if I went for the full 100. Because it would have been 2,000 per account with low risk. That's the crazy thing, guys. I took this trade with very low risk. So I took this with maybe like 5 or 6 contracts, and I made this much profit on it off just one trade. So, I think like every day I kind of just have to make an educated guess whether I want to take the orb, whether I want to take these scalps, whether I want to take, the sideways entries, the liquidity pushes or liquidity sweeps, because every day there's going to be some opportunity, right? My playbook it's going to yield some sort of good trade, whether it be one of these scalps here, whether it be a liquidity sweep, whether it be or breakout. Um, yeah, it's just going to be tough because I can't take multiple trades, right? Like I can't take the orb while I'm taking these trades because I already had one trade running here while this trade was running as well. So I couldn't hop into a second trade while I was already in it, or else it would kind of mess with my consistency. So I'll try to keep it around. Um, I'll try to give you guys a heads up, like when these entries do come up, what I'm planning on taking, but I'll mark up all of them if we have the opportunity to take them. So like I said earlier with the orb, a traditional orb, you would take it at the candle close. So you'd actually take it up here. But for me, I look for the retest. So I look for the retest of the orb level. And that's why I got in right here instead of the close of this candle here, which I got in actually a little better because I saved about 10 points, or I got in about 10 points at a discount. So we'll keep looking for another opportunity here. Price is coming back down. If there's anything that comes up, we'll kind of see as price moves along. I'm just seeing all your guys' messages over here right now. Let's see. Visual said 2 minute opening range. Careful. Yeah. A little late on that one. Reading that message. Let's see. Visual said, gotcha. So visual's entry was at 44. I want to see where his entry was at. 44, 421. Okay, perfect. So your entry was like in between like both of the entries. So visuals entry and visuals, the person here who kind of brought the orb up to us. We already knew what, well, I knew what the orb was, but I didn't really understand it completely because I've seen people apply the orb on like the 15-minute, 30-minute, like the higher time frames, but visual actually did it on the 2 minute, which I like way better because I like these faster moves. Visuals entry is right here. He trades on the tick chart, which was in between the traditional orb and my entry right here for the break and retest. So it was kind of perfect. We have three different entry points here: the close of the candle, the close of the 100 tick, and the retest right here, which is where I got in from. So yeah, it looks pretty solid. It's like around the same area right there, maybe about a 5 point difference or so. But yeah, glad that you hit that right there too. Visual. Let's see. Nick said it was waiting for a potential pullback, but got in when it continued. Yeah, that's solid, Nick. I mean, that's key, right? Because the thing is, when you miss it, you miss it. So I'm glad that you used your you use your decision making to get into it. Because if you missed it, I mean, that would have sucked, right? I think that's the worst when you see the orb play out and then it's like way up here and you didn't get into the position. So glad to see you got into it right there. And yeah, we'll keep looking at the orbs as we continue on. All right, let me see the Zoom chat over here real quick. Yeah, so Christian said, damn, I should have entered, but confused because there were sessions there. Yeah, so the thing with the sessions is that I think I probably would have skipped this. I mean, my entry came up right there, but I probably would have skipped this high-low break and retest, Christian, because of the sessions. The only reason I took the entry there was mainly because of the orb. So for the orb, so there's two different strategies where you disregard the sessions and red flags. It's going to be the liquidity sweeps and the orbs. But you do want to pay attention to the red flags here for the high-low break and retest because price can get manipulated around those areas. The only reason we're able to kind of ignore it, or not really ignore it, but disregard it for the orb is that the range is a lot wider, right? Because for the orb, it's a 50-point stop loss versus a 30. So if price does get manipulated right here, we can get that swing back up. So it's just different criteria for different strategies. But I agree with you, Christian. I probably would have avoided this high-low break and retest because there were sessions everywhere. There was resistance and there were sessions everywhere, which would have made it tricky. CJ's asking what's the criteria for the orb. I know it's within the range of the 2 minutes, but I'm not sure if you take it once after market opens, like the breakout. Yeah, it's a once a day strategy. So what orb stands for is opening range breakout. That's all it stands for. I know orb makes it sound cool, but it's really orb opening range breakout. It's like our MPSVT, right? It's an acronym. That's what it is. Opening range or orb. That's what orb stands for. So Steven said orbit. Yeah, that's what it stands for. It stands for opening range breakout. Basically, the criteria for the orb here is you're just marking up the first 2 minutes of open. There's different types of orbs, but the one that we use here is the 2 minute range. Basically, the 630. So you can see the 630 candle is right here. This was the low point of that 630 candle. So we marked up the low right there. That's the opening range low. And then for the second candle right here, the 2 minute, it would be right here. This is the opening range high. So basically what you're doing is you're just marking up the low of those two candles, the low and the high of those two candles, and then you're looking for price to break out of it. A lot of people typically will just get in right away. So right there they would get in. But for me, what I do is when price breaks above it, I put my pending order at the orb high, and then I ride it up higher. So I get like perfect entry basically. That is typically what I do. Yeah, Barack said retest is better. You can easily be liquidity without retest. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Here is Steven's profits for the day. Nice work, Steven. He locked in 252 for the day. So nice work on catching that profit right there, Steven. Still looking for price to push back up. There's nothing here right now specifically, but we are looking for price to push back up. The problem with this here now, guys, is that we're in a range, right? We're in a pretty obvious range at the moment. Price is currently ranging back and forth. This is going to be a problem for the high-low break and retest because you don't really want to take these trades here when price is ranging, right? You want price to be climbing up higher and higher and higher. So we'll see what happens here. If this starts to range super hard, then I'm obviously going to wait for opportunity to break out of this area. So what I might wait for here is for price to break past it, and then I'll get in at a later entry. Not right here, because right here is tricky since we're stuck in the range. This could easily be a fake out. Like we got faked out a bunch of times yesterday. All right, cool, Steven. I'll put your profits over here in the team profits. Yeah, Nick said, yeah, I had a breakout point at 44,460. Your analysis and confluences have really helped me too. Yeah, definitely, Nick. Glad they help. Like there's always going to be traditional strategies that people apply, but it really, like from what I've learned over the years, is it's really your confluences that make all the difference. So, I mean, you can apply the standalone type strategies like the OR by itself, which is perfectly fine. But I think using the momentum here and using other strategies as confluences help a lot with our entries. So like for example here, like you could have taken the orb here without my momentum indicator, but my momentum indicator really helped me personally identify that okay, this would be a good entry, right? So I turned this off. You see the momentum was right here at 6:30. We knew price was already pushing up at this point. So I looked for that basically break and retest, and it gave me a better confluence and idea of like where price was going to go. Similar to yesterday. So yesterday we had an orb for a sell, right? Let me go back over here to yesterday's orb entry. So this is yesterday's orb entry, right? Same thing. We had the orb break below, and we had my sell signal right here. So we had an idea that price was going to come down lower, and that's exactly what happened here for the orb yesterday, right? This is the orb entry that we looked at yesterday. And this thing over here hit 100 points as well. So pretty solid. Pretty solid, and does help to have these extra confluences laying around. Let's see, visual said also one more thing about the 2-minute orbit also plays as a support and resistance, so price comes back to it and moves away. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. That happened a lot yesterday, right? When you were looking at it. So yesterday's orb entry, price did respect the area right here. So if you guys remember, the bias yesterday was bullish, right? The bullish push didn't actually happen until later in the day. So right here, price kind of came down a little bit. It pushed back up, retraced. It was just in this really big range. And then finally over here, it started climbing up super heavily. So the daily bias isn't necessarily supposed to give you like the directional bias, like the direct bias for this time period with trading, but it gives you the overall bias for the day. So like I said over here, it was neutral to bullish. That's kind of what's happening right here. Price was bullish for a little bit, and then now it's starting to turn a little neutral. This is a possible MPS V2 entry if you guys are looking to take it. If this green candle right here closes above this line right here, this is going to be an MPS V2. Question from Camel. Camel's asking, are you still executing on Ninja? It looks like you moved your stop loss on TradingView. Yeah, everything is on Ninja. TradingView just shows what I'm doing, but I'm doing everything on Ninja. So like, earlier when you saw the stop loss get moved in profit, I did that on Ninja and it just showed on TradingView. So I do everything on Ninja still. I don't do anything on TradingView, just analysis on here. So TradingView just mirrors what I'm doing on the Ninja Trader platform. Yeah, CJ said, oh, I got it. I was confused. I've seen people apply it different ways, but I like your version of the orb better. Yeah, I think that the pending order is or the pending limit order is help a lot because you don't have to like guess, you don't get any slippage on it. Like you get in directly at the exact price that you wanted. So that's why I kind of made the move towards limit orders, guys. Also, the limit orders are going to help you guys get in at exact price too. So we're not all over the place. Like not some people are getting out and some people are still stuck in the position. We're all going to get in at exact price and we're going to get out at exact price as well. Let's see. Steven said, Sean, I feel embarrassed if my profit split is less than 5,000. If I only receive a few grand for my first payout split, that'll make members think I'm not a good trader. This is why I want to get 10,000. So when my name is put on your Hall of Fame, I feel like I made an accomplishment. I mean, once you get one payout, Steven, I'll send you a plaque, bro. I'll send you a plaque with your face on it. Yeah, our goal here is to get you your first payout, Steven. Let's get you your first payout, and then we'll talk about getting you $10,000 days or $10,000 weeks or $10,000 months, whatever you're aiming for. Let's get you your first payout first, Steven, and then we will, and then all will be well. Once Steven gets that first payout, I think everything in the world will be well. I think all the wars will end, and and everything will just go back to normal. Yeah, we're gonna aim for that, Steven. Once we get that, I think you're solid, bro. Let's get you one payout first, and then we'll talk about getting you your 10,000 payouts or whatever you're aiming for. Yeah, Brock said the storm will be over by then, once you get your first payout. Well, hopefully you get paid out on that prop firm that you're using, Steven, because you're using a bootleg prop firm, so I don't even know if they'll pay you out, but I'm hoping they do. Let's see, Drew mentioned 15 or 30-minute orbs feel too late to get the early volatility. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Drew. That's why for me too, I'm looking for the first 2 minutes because look at market right now. It's pretty flat, right? Once we hit 7 o'clock, like let me mark up 7 o'clock right here. The market kind of just dies down a little bit, right? We have that early market open volatility and then 7 o'clock hits and we're just getting this back and forth, back and forth. That's why for me, I do like the 2 minute orb, and I'm glad Visual mentioned it. The thing with the orb, though, guys, that you guys got to take into consideration is that it's not always great. I mean, it's a good strategy when the market's working in its favor. But I did some back testing, and there's going to be some months where it's like break even for the month. Not necessarily like a bunch of losses, but you're going to have some break even months. That's why for me, um, I don't think I can fully depend on the orb, right? I need to kind of go between different strategies. Or not, I don't have to go between different strategies, but I need to have my playbook ready. So again, this is my daily trading. I should have just saved it. I'm gonna save this here. Directional market, or we'll just put directional strategy will be high-low break retest or MPS V2. Um, Sideways strategy. I'm gonna save this. I don't have to type it up again. Will be liquidity sweeps or V1 variations. Breakouts will be 2 minute momentum orb or momentum breakout. And I'll just save this here so I don't have to type this up in the future. Yeah, so just keep that in mind, guys. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm just using three different strategies for directional markets, sideways markets, and breakouts. And then also using them as a confluence as well. All right, guys, we have a possible high-low scalp break and retest right here. Like I said earlier, this might be a little bit of a tricky entry because this could be this could easily be a fake out here. If you guys want to take this, I mean, feel free. I'm probably going to hold off on this specific one and I'll wait for the next one. So entry for this right here, if the candle closes above this blue line, entry is going to happen right here at 44,546. If it doesn't fill on the first candle, then you have to cancel it and just wait for the next one. There's also an MPSV2 that came up right here that Sam took. Nice work, Sam, on catching that. So Sam took the MPSV2 right here, which hit full TP as well. There's a lot of different opportunities here. Um, for me personally, I probably would have been a little cautious on this one specifically because it's like going sideways. Whenever price is in a heavy range like this, I don't like getting into the directional entries, but nonetheless, it still hit and it played out pretty nice right there. So nice work on catching that, Sam. Yeah, and Drew also mentioned 100 points is a lot too, especially in the summer, but glad it hit. Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I went for the 50 there instead of the full 100. Because it is hard to get like a full 100 point push, especially during summer markets. I'm curious to see all right, so this is canceled, guys. There's no entry there. Like I said, if it doesn't fill on that first candle, you have to cancel it. And now we have a new level up here. Also, thanks, PC. You mentioned that price is at 1 hour supply. That's good to know. So just be careful with that too, just in case price rejects off this area. Either way, there's no entry here for the high-low break and retest. It has to happen on the following candle. If it doesn't, then you cancel it. Just wait for the next one. Today's been a pretty good day overall. I mean, just looking at all the profits here coming up, it's been pretty solid. All right, so Sam's break and retest there, hit full TP. Nice work, Sam, on riding that up. That didn't fit my break and retest, but it did fit Sam, so Sam took it there. My criteria is I would need this to retest the higher high right here right away on the following candle, which didn't happen. So there's no entry there for me specifically. Price is still pushing up. In order for us to get another high-low break and retest, we need to have confirmation of this higher high close. So this is the good thing about this specific strategy is that I have to wait for confirmation. I'm not just getting in right away. Like you can see over here, see how we currently have a higher high at the moment? So until this is established, I can't take this as the actual setup because you'll see here if price pushes up past this area. So for example, if this green candle pushes up here, this is going to be the new higher high. So if this here pushes anywhere higher, you're going to see this label move to this candle right here. So that's why like I have to wait for confirmation before I can start looking for any opportunities, meaning there needs to be some sort of pullback and confirmation retracement before it actually we can actually identify this as an established high and then look for that pattern that we were looking for earlier, breaking the retest. So for me personally, I like to use a lot of these confluences because these confluences do help a lot, especially in this type of market. Let me check my stock that I'm holding on to right now. Okay, I'm gonna try to get out at. 90.80. Okay. Just gonna put my sell order at 90.80 at the resistance. I don't know. Very cool. So what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be like a side quest for me, basically, is I'm going to be growing my investment accounts. And what I'm going to be doing with those investment accounts is I'm going to be trading stocks that have earnings for the week. So, for example, this week, there's two stocks that I was looking at was MSM, and the other one was what was the other one I was looking at? STZ. There's earnings for both of these stocks right here. I was going to get into STZ over here, but the outlook didn't look so good. So I'll probably share with you guys the stock picks that I'm taking if you guys are looking to trade stocks at all. I'm looking to grow my portfolio maybe, 5 to 10% per week if possible. Or maybe not 5 to 10%, maybe like around 5% per week. Um, Anyways, this is one of the stocks that I currently bought into. They had earnings for this morning. I bought into it right here because price was kind of flat, and then it mentioned that it was going to be bullish or beat the earnings, and I'm pretty much riding this up until the resistance up here. So I'm in this currently. I'm up about 4%. If price reaches this point, I'll be up like close to 10% on that trade. So I'll be making, I don't know, my account right now is at about 28,000. It's not a lot. It's not like a crazy amount like what I'm doing with the futures. Or shit, my bad. 28,000 times, yeah, 10%. So I'll be making about 2,800 on this trade specifically. And I'm going to be slowly growing this account. Basically, I started at like 5,000, it's up to 28. Slow grow there, and then now I'm going to be building it up to like maybe closer to hopefully by 100,000 by the end of the month or by the end of the year, not the end of the month. Let's see, visual set, keep eye out for QUBT and RGTI. Thanks, visual. I'll take a look at those too. Um, Yeah, I'm not going to give stock advice, but the thing is, so the reason why I'm able to do this is because my AI that I said I'm putting together, it works on all assets. So like for example, I use my AI to give me a daily plan for YM. I'm also using my AI here to or not my AI. I forgot. Someone corrected me on that about AI. So I'm using AI. I'm creating my own like AI bot basically that to ask these trading questions. But yeah, someone corrected me and I was like, oh, you can't create AI. You use AI. Well, yeah, thanks for correcting me, but um, I'm using AI to basically give me whatever is earnings for the week and then using an analysis on it, basically giving a deep analysis on like whatever stock that I'm looking at. And if like a lot of the information is indicating that the earnings are going to be bullish, then I'll buy the stock. I'll let the earnings kind of push price up and then I'll try to ride it to its resistance point. Or I'll get out within a few days. This is a short week, so I'm probably going to get out of that stock on maybe tomorrow or Thursday, because we're not going to be in it for Friday since it's 4th of July. But yeah, I'll probably create another tab here on the Discord with basically my stock entries. It's not going to be a stock advice. It's just going to be me kind of telling you what I'm taking. And if you guys want to get into it, I mean, feel free to get into those trades there. It's kind of good to diversify a little bit, especially because we're day trading these. And for those types of stock entries, those are more of a swing play. I usually hold on to those for a couple days, if not a whole week, and then I get out of them, which is cool. I mean, it works out. It works out that way. It's less stress. Nice work, Christian. So Christian over here locked in some pretty good profit too. And Talanji as well. He said he made up all of the losses from yesterday. Nice work, Talanji. I'm almost there. I'm like just a little bit of past it because I made 50 on that last trade. I was down 60 points yesterday from the those those fake outs that we ended up getting caught up in. Anyways, here are profits from Christian. So Christian over here locked in 450 for the day. Nice work, Christian. Solid work so far. Talanji's asking, what are the dotted lines with the numbers on the orb? Let me go back over here. Are you talking about this these dotted lines right here, Talanji? So the black dotted lines right here, these are this is where my 50 points was. So this is where I got out from earlier, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. So this is going to be the 50-point mark. I just marked this up because I had this set to 100 and I was trying to get out at the 50. So I just had that marked up there so I can see where the 50 was. All right. So there's still no confirmation here with this high. You guys can see price is still kind of pushing up a little bit higher. In order for us to get that confirmation, we need this to push up, establish the high, come back down, and then retrace above it like this. So we'll keep watching here. I mean, there's no entries at the moment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just keep looking. Brock said, I'm done. So he's done for the day. Yeah. Brock said, I'm solidly solid for the day, team. See y'all in the next hunt. Yeah. All right, Brock. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We got 2 more days of trading this week, guys. Friday is 4th of July holiday. Keep in mind that um, Thursday is NFP. So it's just something to keep in mind, guys. We do have NFP earlier this week. It's kind of crazy. I've never seen NFP on a Thursday like that. I was honestly a little shocked to see NFP on a Thursday. I think this is the first time I've ever seen NFP on a Thursday. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. Maybe it's happened like a super long time ago, but I can't remember the last time. Because usually holidays aren't on a Friday. I guess Good Friday, but that's not first week of the month. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. CJ said it's because fourth falls on a Friday. But yeah, I know, and just in general, I just never seen it pushed to a Friday or a Thursday before. I feel like 4th of July was on a Friday a couple years back, no? Or I don't know, maybe not. I feel like somewhat recently, maybe like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, it was on a Friday as well. But I could be wrong. First time for everything. Anyways, guys, we have a higher high right here that's currently still not established. In order for us to have any type of entry available here, we need to have either a sell signal to pull price down, or we need price to just push down from this current area. And then once price pushes down from this area, we'll be looking for it to push back up and retest from there. You know, the crazy thing is, like whenever I draw these patterns up here, guys, they always they always tend to look like a head and shoulders, right? So for example, here, like I don't even plan to draw it as head and shoulders, but it always ends up looking like a head and shoulders right there. And that's literally what we're looking for. I know a lot of people don't like to look at patterns, but I mean, realistically, the patterns here they just end up coming up like that, even though I'm not planning on drawing that. This is basically an inverted head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders, whatever you guys want to call it. Inverted, inverse, same thing. Um, this is basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to sweep somewhere around here, then come down, and then shoot back up for that continuation. Gotcha, Solange. Yeah, Solange said the last 4th of July on a Friday was 2014. That's a long time ago. Maybe it wasn't as recent, but yeah, I'm not sure if NFP was flipped on that day as well. I think 4th of July is the only month where we have a holiday on the first week, which is like in the middle of the week. It's not on a Monday. Because Labor Day is on a Monday, so obviously, NFP doesn't get pushed to any other days. but it's cool. Kind of curious to see what um what NFP holds for this month. You know, the thing with NFP is like it doesn't really matter what's predicted for NFP. Actually, I'm gonna ask AI about that right now. Why not? Provide me a comprehensive analysis and of non-farm payroll data scenarios for July 3rd, 2025. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious because like some people are asking me about you guys have remembered in the past we used to YOLO trades on like NFP. I don't really recommend it, but if you guys want to pass an eval like super quickly with Apex, I mean NFP is like one of those days to do it because that's where price is actually going to spike. Yeah, so comprehensive data outlook on. See, this is the cool thing about AI, guys. It's so crazy because it could pull so much data super quickly and it could give you a pretty good rundown of everything. You just got to give it a a proper prompt. Like for me, I didn't really understand stuff about fundamentals, but I actually kind of understand fundamentals now because the AI gives me good explanations of like how to understand how things move and stuff like that. So, you know, like I've told you guys in the past, I'm going to be using AI a lot to provide daily outlooks and stuff like that. Um, we've only been using AI for about, I think, a month now, not even a full month, maybe a couple weeks. And the thing that's been helping a lot. So we have my daily trading plans, we have our weekly trading plans, and we have our monthly trading plans. So for the month, basically, I said July was going to be pretty bullish or bullish with caution, and it's been pretty bullish so far. Yesterday, price kind of faked out a little bit, but now it's like it's been super bullish today. Same with the weekly, right? We had a bullish directional bias. And then for today as well, we have a neutral to bullish. So AI has been super, super helpful with helping me understand not just the technicals, but understanding the fundamentals in the market. So we have some sort of bias when we trade. It's not always going to be right, but it's pretty spot on for the most part. Everything I've taken using AI, it's been pretty helpful. All right, so we got price still pushing up right here. There's no confirmation of this high yet. Like I said, I need price to come back down from where it's currently at. There's just not going to be any use here. We need price to kind of just pull back a little bit and then continue up higher. It's 7:30 right now, so we still have some time in the market. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, you know, there's just not really much here to work with at the moment. So let's see what's going on here. I'm just reading some data here on NFP to kind of have an idea of like what to expect this Thursday. I know some of you guys want to try to YOLO your evals on that day. You guys can do it if you want, but it's going to be really tricky with the market conditions because a lot of these companies they're forecasting at different price areas. All right, I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab some water. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm just gonna step away for 1 second and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I am back. There is nothing going on right now. So we got this here, which is pretty much just sitting flat at the moment. If you guys are just joining in, we had a couple entries come up today. We had a sweep, MPS V2, high-low break and retest, MPS V2 right here. A couple A++ setups along the way. And the 2-minute momentum orb. So a lot of good entries today. No losses so far. That's been pretty solid. Market here is starting to consolidate here a little bit, which is completely fine. We have a new high here, which is now established. So if you guys are looking to take an entry here, look for possible breakup here and a retest for a high-low break and retest above that high. Other than that, we have a sell signal here. There's actually a lot of opportunities that may start to set up here. We had a sell signal here that just came up, so this could possibly set up for a possible MPS V2. So if we get a buy signal here, possible MPS V2 could set up. Otherwise, looks like price here might just be a little stale for a bit because the volatility here did die down quite a bit. The ATR is currently at 20 right now. 20 ATR, and these candles have definitely slowed down quite a bit. So we'll keep looking, but yes, at this very moment, there's just nothing here to take right now specifically. All right, nothing to take right now. Price is still going sideways. Again, we need price to actually be moving in order for us to take these directional moves. If price continues to go sideways, then it's going to be a ranging market where we'll be focused on mainly sweeps. All right, not much going on here. Price is now pushing down lower, which is completely fine. If you guys want to take this as an MPS V2 for a sell, this is setting up for a sell MPS V2. Again, not one I'd personally take because our bias for today is bullish. But if you guys are looking to take this here, this is a sell MPS V2 that's coming up or that just came up. Sell signal, retracement, confirmation. Only issue here is that you're going against the trend and you're going against the bias. So not exactly the type of setup that I'd be looking for here. So not much going on here, guys. As you guys can see, price is still going sideways. It is still going sideways here. There's breaking news. I don't know if you guys saw it. It says Trump says he'll have to take a look at deporting Elon Musk. And there's always something going on in the news and the headlines. It was posted about an hour ago, but I just saw it right now on Bloomberg. It's kind of funny to see that. They're gonna keep going back at it for a while. Um, let's see. So let's see. Rashid is asking, how does 2 minute orb work? Which candle are you marking up? The 2 minute orb is the first 2 minutes. So I mean, it depends on what orb you're applying. There's a ton of different orbs. You can do the 1 minute orb, 2 minute orb, 5 minute orb, 10 minute orb, 15 minute orb, 30 minute orb, right? It depends on the person who's applying it. For me specifically, and with visual, he pretty much identified that like with his data, he found the 2 minute to be superior across other time frames. And I agree with that because, like you can see over here, the volatility is pretty high in the beginning. The 5 minute could be okay too, but then you kind of be pushing it out a little too far. The 1 minute could be okay too, but then you could be a little too tight. But basically, the 2 minute orb, you're just marking up the first 2 minutes. It's the whole point of the strategy, right? If it's a 2 minute orb, you mark up the first 2 minutes. If you're doing a 5 minute orb, you mark up the first 5 minutes of market open. So you mark up the high and the low of the first two candles. Basically, market opened up right here at 630. The opening range low. And again, orb just stands for opening range breakout. So the opening range orb right here, which would be the low of the, basically what you want to do here is you just want to focus on these first two candles, Rashida. You want to focus on 630 and 631 if you're doing the 2 minute. And then from there, you want to mark up the high and the low of those two candles. So that's how you'd mark up the orb. Once you have the orb marked up, like we do right here. So once you have the orb marked up like this right here, then there's a couple different ways to identify it. So, or there's multiple ways to identify entry. So for me, I look for the retest. So I look for price to break past it, and then I put my limit order at the orb high or the orb low if price breaks below it. Traditionally, people will just enter right away. So as soon as this candle closes, they enter a market order right there. For visual, he does things a little differently. He looks at it on the tick chart. So for him, he would get in, well, he got in the middle right here. So the traditional entry would be up here. The tick chart on visual is down here, and for me, I get in right here at the orb high. It's just a couple different ways to mark it up. The thing is, you want to keep in mind that this strategy isn't 100%. So, I know you know that, Rashid. Of course, you've been training with me for a while. You know, nothing is 100%. We wish things would be 100%, but I would say back test it because I went back into May. And my back test data over here for the orb wasn't super great for May. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. So for June over here, I had basically a 73% win rate for 1 to 1, 66% win rate for a 1 to 2. The 1 to 2 made a lot more profit, made 750 versus 350 for the 1 to 1. Over here for May, we had a little bit of profit, just one win net for 1 to 1 and break even for a 1 to 2. This is April's. April was 55.6% win rate on a 1 to 1, 100 points, and then 44.4% win rate, 300 points for a 1 to 2. And I'll probably pull some more data on it. You just want to make sure because we've looked at the breakouts over the years and they're not always going to be super spot on. That's why for me, I'm not only taking the orbs. I'm gonna take orbs on certain days. I'll take other entries on other days, and then I'll be picking and choosing because I can't necessarily take all entries. Like the orb today ran in line with the high-low break and retest. I could have taken one or the other, but I decided to go with the orb. So it's just gonna be slightly different per day, depending on the market conditions. I'm also going to be looking for confluence with my daily direction too. So I'll be looking at my daily direction, looking at my AI, whatever my AI spits out for the day, and I'll be looking at my bias. So like for example, today, if my bias was bearish, then I probably wouldn't have taken this buy here. I want more confluences to line up with it. Still in here, Sam? So Sam said, man, this MPSV2 was regretting taking it, then left it on my fate. You got 15 points. Okay, great. So Sam actually took the MPSV2 right here. You got out at 15. Thank God you got out at 15, bro. I'm glad you did. Because yeah, you're going against the trend right there. Slow move, but I'm glad you hit it. Yeah, I would have been regretting it too if I saw this big retracement right here on this following candle. But I'm glad it hit for you, bro. So nice work on that MPSV2 to the downside. Yeah, Christian said thank God I didn't take that because that would have been nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm trying to so for a while I wasn't really following the trend, but I think I need to reincorporate the trend a little more. It's super necessary, especially especially in a market like this. So we'll keep looking for opportunities here, guys. There's nothing at the moment. It is 7:50. We got 10 minutes till 8 o'clock. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably be wrapping this up pretty soon. There's just nothing else to really take at the moment. All right, we don't got anything going on right here, guys. Price is still going sideways. It is 7:52 right now. Yeah, not too much here. Price is just going back and forth like we spoke about earlier. I think what I'm gonna do today, tomorrow, for the rest of the year, basically, is I'm gonna do a deep back test on two strategies. I'll do a deep back test on the high-low break and retest to understand if the 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 works best. I think the 1-to-1 works best from what I've seen so far. And then for the orb strategy, I'll be looking for the same thing. I'll be looking to backtest this pretty deeply. If you guys want to backtest this yourself, I think this helps a lot because you guys can understand if the strategy works well or not. I know there's a lot of other people who backtested it already pretty far back, but I'm going to backtest it myself so I can get the numbers. I know there's ways to automate the backtest, but I like seeing it myself and I like having the numbers in my head so I can kind of see what needs to be changed versus doing an automated backtest because you can't really see the there's a lot of different factors to look at when you're looking at these backtests. There is ATR, there's news, there's a ton of things to look at. So I'll probably be looking at that to see. Otherwise, I mean, my playbook's going to stay the same, guys. So I'll put my playbook back over here again. It's going to pretty much be exactly what I mentioned earlier. I'm not looking to change anything. I'm going to keep it like this. I know I try to stick to one strategy for the year, but I mean, realistically, one strategy for the year is going to be tough, especially in this type of market, because we do have a lot of sideways movement. So liquidity sweeps are going to be a good option as well. We're probably going to try to stick to directional and breakouts, but of course, liquidity sweeps, if I do see some good sweep areas, I will be looking to take them. So yeah, so Rashida said that Orb had a fair value gap. Also, maybe look at that too. Yeah, that could be something I can look at. Here, let's see. Let's take a look over here. Yeah, so it lined up with this as well. So I mean, looking at this, my entry was right here. It bounced off the fair value gap right there. I do have my liquidity indicator here, so I could pretty much just mark up my own fair value gap. So what time frame did you see that fair value gap, Rashida? I can pull it up here. I'm assuming it was the 5, right? Or I mean, it could be a higher one too. Nothing on the 1 hour, but it looks like there was one there on the 5, maybe the 15. There's also a 15 right here, but these fair value gaps, they work really well in the lower time frames. Let's go to the 1 minute. Yeah. So there's one right here too on the 1 minute. There's a 1 minute fair value gap that was around that area. And then there's also a 5 minute one. That was a little bit lower. Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. I don't want to add too many confluences to it. I mean, the confluences are great, but of course, if they work, then I'd like to use them. But yeah, thanks Rashida for the heads up on that. I'll probably try to take a look at that if we can kind of add that into the mix as well. The more confluences, the better, of course. And I'll see if I can probably implement this orb indicator into like my own. I'll try to figure out if I can set it up. I mean, I can. It's not going to be that difficult. The good thing with Lux Algo is that they're open source, so I'm glad that they do that, so that I kind of build it into an orb indicator for ourselves that works better. Like maybe incorporate the momentum with it. All right, guys, we don't really have much else here to take. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys are looking for a possible entry here, there's a possible MPSV2 that's setting up right here for a buy. We have a buy signal. Price is retracing. If it pushes back up, that could be an MPSV2. If price breaks and closes above this higher high and retest this area, this could be a high-low break and retest. So like I said earlier, look at my playbook. For my directional strategies, you have two different options, MPSV2 or high-low break and retest. There could be both of them that may come up right here. So you might have opportunities for both entries if you're looking to take that. But my cutoff for trading is 8 o'clock. We're getting close to 8 o'clock here. So I'm not really going to look to take anything at this moment. You can see here that price is starting to consolidate and go sideways. This is normal. This is what happens when you get close to 8 o'clock. So not really looking to get into anything here specifically. Yeah, Sam said was really pissed as I was already 4 wins in and no point of taking this against the trend, but luckily 5 wins now and calling it a day. Yeah, definitely, Sam. I'm glad you locked in that win there because I agree. I would have been pissed off myself because this trade here is, you're going against a very strong trend to the upside. Not just a strong trend, but you're also going against the bias because the daily bias was neutral to bullish. Weekly bias was bullish and the monthly bias was also bullish. So, in a situation like this, taking sells is really tricky. Unless you have a switch, right? Of course, if price swings the other way, then okay, great, take it down here. But taking something up here when the trend is so strong to the upside, does make it super, super tricky. All right, great profit right here from Lila. Lila locked in 887 for the day. Great profits for the day, guys. You guys did pretty amazing. So Kyle over here as well. Kyle locked in 850 on his first account. Sorry, 750 on his first account, 780 on his second account. Great work, Kyle. We got Jonathan here. He locked in 79.24. Great work, Jonathan, on that. And then we have Lila over here. She locked in 887. So solid profits overall, guys. I'm glad to see you guys here locking in some good profits. Hopefully my analysis here helped you guys out getting into those trades. I think moving forward, we've got a pretty nice playbook put together. Not too many crazy things to look at, mainly just focusing on, market conditions. If we're in a directional market, we'll look for directional strategies. We'll look at our directional strategies. Sideways market, we'll look at sideways entries, sweeps, and of course the breakout's going to help with confluences using the 2 minute momentum orb or the breakout, whichever you guys feel comfortable with. Yeah, exactly. Lila said that orb is the stuff. Yeah, the orb is very useful, and we're going to keep using it. Let's see. Sam said agree. Happens sometimes to me when I'm in a good green. Like to take shady trades from the profits. Working on me, bro. Yeah, exactly, Sam. And I agree with you too. I do the same thing, bro. Everybody makes mistakes. It doesn't matter how long you've been trading for. There's always room for improvement. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, pretty great profits for the day. Again, here are my profits for the day. I took one trade, which was the 2 minute momentum orb. I lined this up with the high-low break and retest right here. They pretty much came up around the same area. And those were my profits for the day. So I locked in about 1,000 per account up here. And then I locked in 500 per account down here. And then on my second set, I locked in 1,000 per account up here, 500 per account down here, more accounts down here, 1,000 each, and 1,000 down here as well. Unfortunately, which accounts were these right here? I'm like, hmm. I forgot to turn the copier on this one. Fuck. It's okay. I'm gonna turn it on now so I don't miss it next time. Well, that was kind of dumb. Anyways, I missed, I was like wondering why there's a couple blank ones here. For this one, I forgot to turn the copier on. And then for this one was my personal account, which is still kind of locked out. I have to talk to the regulators about that. And then for this one over here, this is my Perdia that didn't copy as well because I needed to turn on market data. It happens, I need to put that in my calendar every first of the month. I got to turn on the market data. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, did pretty good. Overall, looking at my profits for the day, it looks like I locked in maybe like 20, 30. We'll say like closer to like maybe, yeah, maybe 20 to 30,000 for the day. So it's a pretty good day today so far. I pretty much recouped most of my losses from yesterday. Probably just one more trade and I'll be back into the green for the week. So, all right, guys, that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise,